Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kingdom Creatives podcast. I'm your host Flavia and I hope you've been having a wonderful week so far and that your day was great. I also hope that this episode will just be the icing on the cake. Last week we didn't get to upload an episode because I had the flu, but this week I am ready to go, ready to share some wonderful words of inspiration with you. Before I get into that, season 2 is nearing its close, but don't worry. Season 1 will be re-uploaded. If you're using YouTube, well, that won't apply to you. But if you're using Google Podcast or Apple Podcast or Spotify, it's going to be re-uploaded primarily because when we switched podcast hosts, it did not transfer over to the new host. And so the previous episodes are not available online, unfortunately, unless you're using YouTube. So, because of that, we've decided to re-upload season 1, and so after season 2 is finished, you will still get your weekly dose of inspiration. So, no need to worry. You might be wondering why I don't have a video for this episode. Well, that is because a lot of things went wrong in an attempt to record this, but I still do hope it reaches you, whoever is listening. I hope it blesses you and it will provide some inspiration. Now, what I want to talk to you about is something that's been on my mind for a little bit now, and that is staying in the zone, staying in God's presence when He provides pockets of inspiration. A number of us as creatives who have known ourselves as being creatives all our lives, you grew up knowing that you were good at drawing or you could always sing. You didn't have to really go out of your way to learn how to do what you do. You grew up with this talent. For a lot of us who are like that, we tend to take it for granted when God gives us these blessings, these beautiful moments of inspiration. You get a grand idea and all you do is write it down or record it, and then it's business as usual. You don't dwell in the present. And I'm talking about this because I realize that sometimes that's what I do. I will hear a beautiful melody in my sleep like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and what do? I get up, I record it, and I go right back to sleep. Well, recently I've been trying to change that. Recently, if I get some inspiration for a song, I decide that, well, I'm gonna spend a little longer in this moment. It doesn't always feel convenient. Maybe you're driving, maybe you're tired. It doesn't always feel convenient, but I guarantee you it will be worth it. Can you imagine if the disciples decided that, hey, we cannot wait on the Holy Spirit any longer. We can't tarry any longer. Can you imagine if they did not do that? Well, it's basically the same thing. If we decide that we are not going to spend a little longer in God's presence during these moments of inspiration, what will often happen is that we end up with projects that are either incomplete or they're half-baked. That's the best way I could put it, but I know you understand what I mean. We oftentimes don't allow God to finish what He has started, and after all, it's His idea. So why is it that we don't allow Him to complete His idea? If we were to be deliberate in allowing Him to do this, our projects and our songs and our poems and our artworks would be so much more glorious, right? It would be so much more impactful. And so I submit to you that the next time you get inspiration from God, the next time you get a song, you get some lyrics, you get something, the next time God gives you a creative download, stay in the moment. Do not come out of it until you feel like God has said to you, or not even feel, until you know that God is saying, well, this is all I'll give you for now. I'll let you know when I'm ready to download the rest. It will make so much more of a difference. I guarantee you. As I said, I know that there are some times where God is like, I don't want you to release it just yet, so I'm only going to give you a little bit. There are those times. But even in those moments, how do you know that that's what's happening? How do you know that God is saying, hey, it's not time for you to complete this song as yet? Or if he's saying, I want to give you more. How do you know? You have to be in his presence. You have to be communicating with God. You have to know him. And so when you are experiencing these moments, stay in his presence. Dwell a little longer. Allow him to finish that thought. It's going to be so much more amazing if he does it rather than you trying to complete it in your own power. I promise you. Trust him. Trust the process. Be patient and stay in the zone the next time. All right? That being said, I hope this has been a blessing. I hope you were enlightened. I hope you were inspired. And I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you are listening to this. Stay blessed, wonderful Kingdom Creatives. Till next time, take care. You make a way that I've defined.